So first thing of any implementation of a go-to-market tech product is that you need to connect the accounts that you have in your CRM to Pursuit. And so the scenario that I want to leave with you is imagine that in a few days, your full sales team has a pipeline review. And as a team, you have 1.5x pipe coverage. That's not good enough. Someone has to go look at the data and figure out why. So you, as the RevOps leader, get to dig in and try to unpack that. And here's what you found. Reps don't know which accounts to target, and they don't know the issues and goals for each of those targets. When they do prospect, reps run into bad contact data. They find contacts who've left. They find that there's missing contact information. Emails are invalid. People don't have phone numbers. So you also find that your RFP team is asked to respond to an RFP that we had no idea about, right? And the historical fallback for all that has always been conferences. But for the hundreds of thousands of dollars spent each year on conferences, the cost per lead is pretty high. So when you're meeting with the CRO, there's one key question on the table. How do we fix this? Now, we painted a dire situation there, but with Pursuit, we can help you turn it around fast. The first step to any of these processes is mapping your accounts in your CRM to Pursuit's account. This makes it so that data can flow between Pursuit and your CRM seamlessly. Traditionally, that's a rough process, filled with manual work. Pursuit makes it take 5 minutes, though. Beyond that, the thing that I want to show you is that a lot of people that we meet, they don't even have their full TAMs built out in their CRM. They might have, the biggest cities in the country or some of the counties or the R1 universities, but they're missing lots of accounts. So Pursuit solves that instantly for you. You can come over into Intel and you can immediately set up the types of entities that you want to pull over into your CRM. So under entities, I'm going to select type and I'll put municipalities. And as you can see, there are 35,753 of those. Maybe we don't want to push over, folks with 37 people. So you want to put a population minimum of 10,000. Awesome. So now there's 4,400 of those. I can select all of them and then in one fell swoop, export them to my CRM. And over goes all that data, the populations, the websites, any government IDs that we have on it, all of the Pursuit IDs are mapped, so it's super clean inside your database. You could add all the state agencies, all the higher ed institutions, all the special districts. This has been a really, honestly, back-breaking process that we've gone through to make sure that the database is correct at the most root level. The next thing that you want to do, once you've synced your contacts, we've added a bunch of functionality in this release that makes the contact data even better. The emails are more accurate, there's better contact confidence scores, and we have more contacts than ever before. But once you've done that, one of the things that prior to this you had to go do was every so often update those contacts, push over the updates from Pursuit manually. Obviously, it would be better if that was automated. So in the Pursuit fall release, what we've done is you can actually go into your integration configuration settings, go into your CRM. We've got HubSpot set up, but it works the same way with Salesforce. And then you can select the schedule on which those contacts get synced over. Oftentimes what we find is that our customers are using an API that is shared across multiple integrations. And so you have to be really careful that those API users don't step on each other and create data conflicts. And so scheduling becomes super important. What you can say is, I want all the contact information. So if I found that there was a mayor who's no longer in their role or a police chief who was just promoted, I can say on Saturday morning at 5 a.m. or whatever, 6 a.m. Eastern time, I want all those contacts to sync over from Pursuit into my database. So it's on autopilot forevermore. One other quick thing that we released in this in fall is you can now set export limits. So if you have a BDR or an AE who's using the Chrome extension or is using Pursuit in their app, you can set a limit to how many contacts they can import at any one time. That just prevents accidental ports of tens of thousands of contacts. Okay, so we've done a couple of things so far. Number one is we've got our account database mapped to Pursuit. We've filled out the TAM. We've updated all the contacts in our database, and now they're on autopilot. We're already doing better than 95% of sales organizations out there, but we can take it even further. And I want to show you some new stuff in our fall release related to account research. let's assume that I'm running sales ops or RevOps at a company like Cisco, and let's focus on their security portfolio. And let's say, for instance, that I want to go in and I want to research municipalities. Municipalities with a population minimum. I mean, we'll just put it at 100K, but you could do it for all of them. And so I can come in, and you'll notice some of these accounts haven't been synced. That should be a red flag. I want to sync them over. So I'm going to grab just the top 100 accounts here, and I'm going to click Research Entities. That's going to take me to this page. And this was something that we shipped in the summer release, but we're adding a ton of functionality to this. So you can create a new prompt, and you could say, what cybersecurity initiatives have they worked on in the past 6 months? Moths. In the past 6 months. It's helpful to be able to type. Then you could say, let's see, are there budgets associated with them? What are their key issues? And you'll notice this is like not the world's greatest prompt. I did that intentionally. What you can do is click the button that says Generate Prompt, and we take your non-amazing prompt and turn it into a fit for AI prompt. So you'll see now it says you're playing the role of a public sector cybersecurity program analyst specializing in initiative tracking and issue assessment. Your objective is to identify and summarize the cybersecurity initiatives undertaken by the entity over the past 6 months. We give some more specific tasks. We define what we want the output to look like. I can also just come in here and name it and call it Cyber Initiatives. And I'm just, for the sake of illustration, going to run it on 5 rows. So while that's happening, let me explain what's happening behind the scenes. 2 things are going on. One is Pursuit is using a web search API to go crawl the internet right now and find anything that's relevant. It's looking at the entity's website. It's also looking at news that's out there. It's looking at social posts, everything. And the same prompt we are taking and going to the Pursuit database, where we've built our own crawler that goes deep into every single one of these government websites, downloads every PDF that we can find, classifies it, reads it. If it's a scanned-in, cockeyed PDF of something that that was presented at a council meeting, we're even reading that, right? So we're reading stuff that previously was not even able to be read. We're taking the results that we get from each of those queries, mashing them together, and you're going to see, the response to that here. And it's going to take a minute to return, but when it does, you're going to have the ability to filter on that as well. So you could search that for you could search the responses for specific words. For instance, in the case of Cisco, they bought Duo Security, which is a multi-factor authentication. So I could put MFA, I could put 2FA, I could put any of the keywords in there that are relevant. So I could quickly figure out who's got something relevant to my products that I want to sell. So that's right off the rip how you can go through, and I'll just read some of these here. So it's funny that here's Cisco Duo mentioned. But for the city of Allen, which is in Texas, they are doing some initiatives that they're investing in cybersecurity. So the time frame is within the past 6 months, the associated budget, they didn't specify, but the initiative is driven to find, well, that one's not great. This one here, Digital Government Summit for 2025. The city's engagement with the summit's theme, cybersecurity, digital transformation, AI implementation, and data governance, indicates its focus on the current challenges in these areas. Although no specific issues were encountered, the participation itself was detailed. And then you can look at, here's another one for Alexandria, Virginia. There's a bunch of stuff going on here. The city of Alexandria participated in Cybersecurity Awareness Month in October, so a few days ago, focusing on stay safe online. The initiative involved promoting cybersecurity practices, strong passwords, la-di-la-di-la-di. They are also here talking about implementing SASE. So that's an interesting, specific initiative that they're targeting, and it's based on an ongoing initiative mentioned in July. So this has been going on for a little bit. They're also implementing a new remote access solution. So the cool thing here is, as a RevOps professional, I can set my team up to go even deeper. You can, if you wanted, you could say, here's another prompt. Have there been any cyber security issues in the past 6 months? Let's make it 12, I guess. So this is going to be a true false, right? And it can actually just be a first pass where it goes through and gives you a true false output, and you'll be able to filter it on the results that are true. So you can actually spare yourself the time of, not going in and researching accounts that don't have any cybersecurity initiatives going on. So this sort of account research allows you to go really deep and be very specific to the things that you want. You can create saved prompts as well. So if I want to go look, back at this one, I can save it as a template. So I can call this one cyber initiatives. And what this does, I can either save it just for myself, or I can share it with my entire workspace, which means that every AE, every BDR, everyone in the account will be able to use it. I'm going to click save, and then now when I come back, I can select from library, and you can see here there's all these saved initiatives, or saved prompts rather, that will make life easier next time. You don't have to recreate the wheel. So if you want to rerun this every quarter, a lot of times a cool use case for this is a sales leader will want their reps to go create a territory plan. And territory plans were like insanely painful to go build in the past. This, you can create the canned prompts, and every quarter go through and rip out the territory plan and make it super well researched in 10 minutes. And that helps focus in on the accounts that are most likely to close. The last thing that I want to show from a RevOps perspective, we hear all the time, I want my AEs building pipeline. I want them on discovery calls. I want them doing demos. I want them in proposal meetings. I don't want them doing research. I don't want them in another tool. I want to keep them focused in Salesforce, which is, totally great thought. One thing that we're releasing in our fall release is Pursuit's Chrome extension. So whether I'm on an account in Salesforce or if I'm on a government's web page, I can quickly click the Chrome extension, pulls up some basic information on the account, and then I can go in and I can see all the people who are like currently employed at this public entity. In this case, in Ann Arbor, we've got 920 plus people. You could go in and say, all right, I want to look at, again, since we're talking about Cisco from cyber point of view, I want to target people in IT. So I just look up information technology. It looks like in our database, we've got 2 people, but there's a bunch of people here that we haven't pulled over. So I can quickly grab each of these, and maybe, well, I want the cybersecurity person. I don't need the cellular infrastructure person. We'll take the change management person. We don't need support, and sure. So I can click export. It'll push all that contact data over into my CRM, and forevermore, it'll be updated on that schedule that we talked about earlier. So all in all, what we've done is we've made it possible for RevOps folks to map their accounts, clean their contacts, do really well-researched account plans, essentially, and enable their team to know what issues matter to their customers. And then finally, we've put the contact data directly into the workflow for the AE through the Chrome extension.